Welcome back to Commercial Breaks with Miss Education. I'm Miss Education. Yay. Episode 8, Commandment 3 and 4 of 10, or word 3 and 4 of 10. I want to first say thanks. If you watched the last one, it was pretty long. I understand the attention span of most people is not 20 minutes, but it is what it is. Um, I think I've said this before, but I don't the thought of doing these does not excite me. I actually dread doing these. Um, but I pray before each one, and by the time I'm done, I'm like, "Yo, God, thank you." Like, I don't know what this is for you, whoever you are, but I know what it does for me by the time I'm done. Like, even just talking about, like, I just fall deeper in love with my God, right? With Yah when I do this. So I'm grateful for it. I hope and I pray that you also find some blessing in this. And I also want to shout out this young lady named Jessica because she had told me a year and a half. She told me this a while ago, maybe 2 years ago. She was like, you really should do these like mini sermons or Bible or whatever. And she called it and put it under the umbrella name of a pastor, but I'm not a pastor. And not biblically, I'm not a pastor. But anyway, Uh, but when I do this, I think of her and I'm like, "Yo, what? Look at me now." So I wanna say, Jess, if you're out there listening, thank you for planting this seed. I'm still not, all gung ho about it, but I do get a blessing out of it. And I pray that you, Jess, personally get a blessing out of this as well, and that you um, have this, that there's a desire that burns in you that you also can dig into the word and get to know Yah for yourself because he's dope. All right, but let's get this going. So on last episode, we did word 1 and 2. So we're gonna just quickly go over 3 and 4. And I know that I had spoken a little bit about 4, so I'm just not. We're just gonna do Holy Spirit fall fresh, and we're just gonna do what happens, right? So let me read. This is Exodus 20, chapter 20, verses 7 through 11. Those would be the next 2 commandments or the 2 words, okay? So it says, commandment number 3, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless. That means without punishment, that taketh his name in vain. So that's commandment number 3. So we'll do that and we'll talk about that and then we'll go to the next one. Like I said, you guys know I have this book that I just write down stuff whenever I'm reading to make it make sense to me. And so these are just the notes I took on commandment number 3, word number 3, do not take my name in vain. And I think I've spoken about this in another episode, but what does it mean? So first I was like, "Girl, what does that mean, vain? What does vain mean, to take a name in vain?" And vain means to use in an inappropriate or disrespectful way or change the intended purpose. So to use in an inappropriate or disrespectful way or change the intended purpose. So I wrote, do not use my name unless needed, right? My name is powerful. It can heal the sick, raise the dead, move literal mountains, cause the sun to stand still. Even the winds and seas obey. Do not take my name in vain. Like, you know, it's not a name, but I think I've mentioned this before. It's like having a semi-automatic, right? Take this weapon. This weapon can defend you, right? In our society, having this weapon, many feel a sense of protection by having this weapon. And it's also something that can definitely defend you from the enemy. Okay. When the enemy shows up, if the enemy knows that there is a weapon, they're going to think twice before they come bothering you. Um, and when shoot, beep, 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 this weapon, it will hurt. It's powerful. It will make things change. People move when they hear the sound of that weapon. People stop in their track when they're hit by that weapon. People change their ways of thinking, their actions when they see that weapon. In God's name, we do not take his name in vain. because his name is a weapon, and not in a weapon like, oh, I'm scared, but it's powerful is what I mean, right? It can heal the sick. We pay look at our pharmaceutical companies, right? We pay trillions to find cures. He's telling you my name can heal you. Raise the dead, your medicine can't do that. We're not there yet. Yeah, I know the heart can stop for 15 but I'm talking about dead for 3 days. Like we're not there yet. But however, his name can do that and has done that. Move literal mountains, cause the sun to stand still. The winds and the waves obey my name. That's a powerful name. That's something you don't want to play with. You got to be responsible with that name. However, our society has trained us not to be responsible with that name. You watch movies, cartoons, and your media, whatever, everybody's saying, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, everything's oh my God. I was like, word, everything's oh my God. But then again, going deep into this, like I've said this before, his name is not even God. They have a soulful, we're not even saying his name. That is not his name, that's his title. Lord is his title. We got lords in England. In England, right? You could be anointed, or I don't know, they have the little sword and they appoint you Lord so and so. Lord Richardson, right? If they want, I could be Lordess Jennifer. I don't know, I'm making that up, but Lord is a title. God is a title. I mean, Satan's the God of this earth, right? God is a title. He says, "Don't take my name in vain." Do we know his name? Right? I'm and I know not everyone agrees, and this is my journey, right? And I'm sharing it with you. And like I said, what I'm doing, if when I hear things and I watch things and I listen to people, I take what makes sense and I go back to the word to match it up. But if it doesn't make sense, I release it. So same for you. If this doesn't make sense and you go back to the word and it doesn't make sense, one first hit me up and be like, Jen, this doesn't match up because I want to do better. I desire to do better. But when he says, do not, and again, I'm at the point with God where I'm like, yo, you're talking to basic people, basic-ish, because I'm not really that basic, but you're talking to humans. We're limited up here. So you have to talk in a way that we understand. God is not too fancy because he's like, y'all are special. I say that with love, okay? But y'all are a little simple. So I got to speak in languages and words that you understand. So when he says, do not take my name in vain, do not take my name in vain. You know what I mean? Like if I say, do not take my name in vain, if you say, you know, oh, sister, that's not my name. My name's not sister. Oh, teacher. No, but that's my position. That's my employment. I'm a teacher. Yes. That's not my name. You know what I'm saying? My name is Jennifer. You can call me Jennifer, Jenny, Jen, right? That's my name. Don't take my name in vain. I didn't say don't take my title. I didn't say that. I said don't take my name in vain. So God says don't take his name. Then I have to ask myself, what is your name? Right? What is your name? And I was so like, once I realized like, yo, Yahweh, Yahuwah, I was like, yes, I know your name. So now I'm really gonna have a conversation with you. But I've been trained to say Lord and God, which is not bad. It's the title, right? But I try to now be intentional. And you'll see I hesitate sometimes because I forget. I'm like, okay, what's because I'm just trained, right, for 40 plus years to just say God. Nah, when I pray now, I'm like, yeah, or my father, yeah. Like I want to say your name. And I want to say it with intentionality because I know what's behind that name. I don't want to take it in vain. So yeah, it's like, don't take my name in vain. When you say it, make sure it's with purpose. It reaches its intended target. Okay? Don't take my name in vain. So that's commandment number 3, word number 3, which makes sense. Because if you love me, why would you do that? Why would you abuse my name? Love doesn't do that. So don't take my name in vain because you love me, right? Okay. And I say yes, I love you. All right, commandment number 4, word number 4. This is the one that of the 10, people will follow 9. They leave this one alone. It is what it is. But remember the seventh day to keep it holy. The only commandment that says to remember. Again, I'm like, yo, God doesn't mess up. If God says remember, The only reason you tell somebody to remember something is because you know they're most likely to forget. He didn't say, "Oh, remember you shouldn't have any other gods before me." Another commandment is that that shall not murder. Remember you shouldn't murder. No, he didn't say that. This one here, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. And I just want to say something else I should have said on the first time. In these versions, the King James version, it says thou shalt not. But doing some research, it's actually not thou shalt not, it says thou should not, which makes a difference, right? Because again, that thou shalt not just feels like authoritative, and this is done out of obligation. But you should not is like, yo, I love you. And I'm telling you what's best for you. Now, if you want to do it, there are consequences, but I'm telling you, you shouldn't do this. You should not, right? But this is the only commandment where God says, remember, because you finna forget, Jen. So he says, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But on the seventh day, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested on the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Hallowed it means to make it holy, right? I'm like, okay, so this was a long one. So you're telling me I need to remember this day. Okay. So 6 days you want me to do all my business. And I'm like, oh, this I can do that, right? I think I've said this before. If if I had this boyfriend, or my husband's like, Jen, you've been working where he's like, Jen, I just need one day. Now, mind you, my husband, provides everything for me, does the laundry, just handles everything for me, right? And I'm busy around during the week doing stuff, going to work, doing this, cooking dinner. And he's like, Jen, can you do me a favor? Can you take one day off? Can you go Friday night to Saturday night? Just leave everything out and just hang out with me. Are you kidding me? If he's like, Jen, let's go to a cabin. Forget everything. Don't bring your phone. Don't bring your computer. Don't do any work. Just come and hang out with me for a day. I'm on it. And most of us here we'd be on it too if our loved one, someone we know has loved us and is loving us, providing for us, says, you know what? Leave everything behind and take one day just to hang out with me. You and I, just you and I. Let's do this. We would go. We'd cancel. Listen, girl, I know I'm supposed to, but I can't. He wants to take me somewhere. Okay. We would cancel. And so God's like, yo, just cancel everything for me. One day. 6 days, do your work, be busy, be productive, do all of that. But one day, and even in those 6 days, you know what I mean? I'm not saying don't forget about me, but one day, shut the noise down. Rest in me, right? And growing up, abiding by the fourth commandment, right? Observing the Sabbath day. I did it because I was born into it, right? And I had no choice. I didn't appreciate it. But now, as an adult and with this relationship with Yah, I understand and I am grateful. There is a blessing. Yo, he said, I will hallow it. The Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. I'm telling you, for those of you who have not tried this thing called the Sabbath, there is a blessing that happens in it. There's a rejuvenation of the spirit, the body, the mind. Yo, it's amazing. Even at my job, because everybody knows. They're like, yo, don't, if there's a meeting or something, don't even ask Jen. Everybody knows, leave Jen alone. She's not doing it. She can't come. It's not for her, which is so relieving for me because the burden's not on me anymore. The burden's on them. They're like, oh, should we ask Ginger? Look, I walk knowing that they know that I observe the Sabbath. So don't come at me because that's my day of rest. Well, again, if you haven't tried it, I encourage you to try it. I had 2 of my students hang out when they came down for the December holiday, and they're not, they don't observe the Sabbath. But again, you see, it says even thy strangers within thy gates. No one does work. We all observe the Sabbath. So they came and they observed the Sabbath with my family. And they left and said, yo, I like this Sabbath thing. This was nice. I'm like, yeah. They're like, it was peaceful. Because I was like, put your phones away. Like, we not doing all of that. Not to say you can't have your phone, but I was like, y'all, the phone, there's lots of drama going on social media. Just put it away. Let's just enjoy the Sabbath, enjoy each other. Talk about the blessings and how awesome Yah is and what He's done in our lives. And and these are I was gonna say teenagers. No, they're like 21, 20, yeah, 20, 21-year-olds. They're like, I like this Sabbath thing. This was really nice. If this is what Sabbath is like, I might have to do it. I encourage you, if you have not tried the Sabbath, give it a shot. There is a blessing that comes in this day. Like, I said I wouldn't take forever, but when I was in law school, and I know I've shared this before, but when I was in law school, there was one class we all had to take in order to graduate. And it was only held on Saturdays, and I couldn't go. I was like, yo, professors, I don't know what to tell you. One, I already don't want to be in law school, but two, I can't go because it's on Sabbath. And they're like, all right, well, and so all my the students, the law students that I would study with and hang out, they all attended the class. I did not, and when it come to take the test, we all took the test. I was the only one that passed. Mhm. I was the only one that passed of that friend group. Everybody else had to stay an extra semester to complete this, to retake this class. I did not break the Sabbath, and God blessed me. Yo, God is so dope. Yeah, praise Yah. He is so dope. Like, He blessed me. He said, you remembered this day. And so here is a blessing. Right. So I encourage you. I'm not saying that, it's gonna be perfect as far as like, okay, I can't work. I do just let Yah know, like, oh, I want to try this. Help me. And I promise you that you're going to find a peace that passes all understanding when you start observing this day. God does not lie. He does not lie. And He only wants what's best for you because He loves you so much that He sent His only begotten Son for you. So if He says, yo, check this out, take a time out on the seventh day. Like I'm saying, I promise, like I'm the one giving you nothing. I'm not giving you anything. I'm just trying to translate the word to you. But Yah promises, right, that it is a blessed day and that He made it holy. And when God blesses something and He makes something holy, only good comes out of God's blessings. So I hope this made sense. It makes sense to me. Like I said, I start off doing this and I don't want to, but then by the time I'm done, I'm like, yo, thank you. Thank you. Because I'm speaking to myself. I'm nourishing myself when I'm speaking into this camera and looking at myself. Hi, self. So if anyone, whoever's out there watching, listening, I pray that this is a blessing to you. I pray that, maybe planting some seeds where you too want to figure out who this our Messiah is, Yahweh, Yeshua, Yahuwah. Get to know them, because when you do, it's life changing. It's life changing. There's a peace that passes all understanding. Anyways, till next time, y'all bless. God is dope. See you next time. Bye.